Yes, yes. We are back with the Monday stream. Thanks for joining. As always, I want to be. Basically, I just had a whole very fun, relaxing, um, yeah, holiday. I mean, last week I was at Gamescom. We're gonna talk about that. So I've not been doing the stream as often as I wanted, but we're back, and we have quite some stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna wait for the chat to come in. Of course, if you're watching later, then yeah, you can just skip through it. I will probably post the sort of segments that we do, one on Assassin's Creed Mirage and one on the Gamescom games that I checked out, as like previous videos on this channel as well. So it's gonna be exciting. I wanna do one more thing for the Gamescom roundup before I forget, and then hey Saber Knight, hey Brock, Pepsi Cola, saw you there as well. Rusty, good to see you. Joseph said Yor has abandoned us. Well, trust me, I'm fully back, and I'm fully charged up. And these coming weeks are gonna be very, very exciting for multiple reasons. Obviously, we got some cool releases coming up. I finished the Assassin's Creed Shadows New Game Plus, so got the golden katanas, and I'm ready to yeah, rock and roll in the. Let's do it a bit like this, by the way. Ready to rock in the Class of Awaji DLC. Borderlands 4 is of course coming up. Ghost of Yote. Oh, so many exciting things. Great time to be a gamer. It was a great weekend of gaming news for sure. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the Sunday video. Reddit Venom, good to see you again as well. Thanks everyone. Glad you had a chill time. Well deserved. Appreciate it, Pepsi Cola. Yeah, so we're back with this stream where I of course talk in the camera to you, and we discuss basically everything that has happened. Yeah, wanna do them of course every Monday this time, and then yeah, go over some topics. Today I want to do two topics, one also regarding Gamescom. I've prepared sort of like the recent gameplay stuff or things that I saw at Gamescom, and I want to do them in the order of let me see. Let's see. I want to do them in the order of things that I liked. So I want to start with the things that I was like, and then as we continue, we'll get to things that I enjoyed more and more. So I think that's gonna be an interesting one. Have you guys what were your like favorite Gamescom reveals or things that you saw? I have to make sure that I have all the things that I actually saw. I do think I have them here. Let me quickly check it out. I'm curious to hear your Gamescom thoughts as well. Let's see, did I... yeah, I need to... yeah, did I... yeah... yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. It's like this one. Yeah, I think I managed everything. We camera are glad, yeah. Hell is Us. Okay, Baltasar. Interesting. Yeah, that's coming out next week already. Did you like the demo? Vivek is asking, what was Assassin's Creed Shadows doing at Gamescom? Was it something good? Hey Ivan, good to see you. And Rumo Tenolo, good to see you as always as well. So the Shadows thing at Gamescom was just art. I was like, hey, I see it. Yeah, I posted about it on Instagram, but it's nothing that I saw or anything new. But obviously with the DLC coming up, I hope they do something where I can share more spoiler-free stuff, so you kind of know what you can expect. So yeah, we'll be just keep an eye on the channel for that. That's what I will say, of course. If there's anything, I will of course let you know. The real play control of Resident Evil Requiem almost made me pre-order. The real play control. I think Resident Evil looks really, really good. It's sadly not a game for me. It's too scary for me. But I mean, it looks super impressive. It scores super exciting that they're finally ditching PS4 and Xbox One, and it shows. It really shows. So yeah, I think that was like totally one of the biggest games they showed at the event. Excited for the Echoes of the End game. Okay, I have to look this up. There were so many. This feels like another gacha game, or am I like mistaken? There were so many. Oh no! Oh, this is. Oh no. This is like one of the. When is this coming out? Is it already out? I have a feel. It looks kind of like Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. I think this is already out. Oh, it's like an 8. Oh, really? It's a review that we're watching. An 8? Echoes of the End. I think I requested a code. Maybe I got a code actually. I think I got a code for it. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I totally missed this. This was like really during my holiday break. That's of course the sad part with August games. Haha, I avoid gacha games. Well, Pepsi Cola, I totally get why. What's up? Hey, Violet Valetti. Thanks for joining here and chatting for the first time. Okay, thanks, Brock, for noting that it already released 12th of August. Yeah, I also noticed that during the Gamescom live react stream, I was just out of the loop for some things, and I'm normally always like tuned in. So, on one hand, that's good. Like, I really was able to detach from everything. On the other hand, I have to catch up a bit, and that's where, of course, the streams are here for too. For Smoke and Mirage DLC, do you know how long it will be? I don't know. We will talk about it soon in like a dedicated topic, so maybe we can talk more about it. So, Saber Knight, yes, the Us demo is great. Already pre-ordered that one. Onimusha is definitely one of my favorite game series, so the demo video made me very happy for that. Ooh, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about Onimusha. The Way of the Sword in a moment. For some reason, I had the trailer during Gamescom. Whoops, we'll have to snag it. Yeah, me too. That it got an 8. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, Violet Valetti, the Monday streams are just me chatting. And yeah, catching up on Gamescom and all those sort of things. So we'll of course be playing on Thursday again. I'll be doing the weekly reset again. And yeah, we will be looking at what they have. Maybe we know if the update is next week. And yeah, we'll be rocking those golden katanas, spending all the money to get the free tools and all that sort of stuff. Pepsi Cola says super excited for Where Winds Meet, although it's sad that it's free to play and not a physical offline game. Yeah, I mean they're going for a different approach. On the other hand, I would have loved if it was like a single player game too, like an offline game. But yeah, they're going for. They were like, okay, we have a lot of these types of free-to-play open-world games, but they're all anime style. Let's make a realistic-looking one, similar to a Ghost of Tsushima. And I personally think that it could be great, because it launched on November 14th. If they are going to release like big content updates, it will be fun to jump in. It plays very well, and it has like kind of the over-the-top mythical elements or magical abilities that I do kind of miss in Shadows. To be fair, like I've been playing the New Game Plus of Shadows, I've been having a really fun time because I'm just focused on the gameplay and not on the story. I skip everything, and I think the game is way better if you do it like that. But yeah, it's been like it for the first time really feels like an RPG where you just see the numbers go up, and I kind of missed that in my first playthrough. It now feels like I was just too focused on the story that just did not really deliver. So I'm having a great time with New Game Plus and. Kind of want to do a second one, but I should not do that because there are other games to play. But hey, but like excited about the Mirage Surprise DLC. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, we can like discuss that. Let's just do that first. I'm good on Where Winds Meet. I will be streaming it. We will see. I mean, again, the nice part about that game is It's November 14th. You will likely have finished Ghost of Yotei. If you are then in the mood for something else, you can like boot it up, have a good time, and if you like it, then play more. If you don't like it, don't play more. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Mirage DLC. I see many people asking about that. You got a cool setup. Thanks, Violet. I think it is to show to the community that they don't just abandon their player base. Feels like Ubisoft is turning over a new leaf. I mean, Ubisoft has always been really good with like focusing on games that don't have a lot of players, where a lot of other companies would have ditched it. They still see, okay, we are making a profit on this. We have these employees anyways. Let's just build on it. Like, look at For Honor, look at Skull and Bones, look at The Crew. All these games you don't really hear a lot about, but they do have a vibrant community. Hey, East Blood Grew, good to see you as always. Did you test Where Winds Meet on mobile or on PC? On PC, Vivek, and there's of course the PlayStation version as well. Baldassar, Ghost of Yotei, same old with Legends. I mean, of course. I really think they're holding a lot of stuff back for Ghost of Yotei, to be honest with you. I really think they're gonna surprise us, especially in the story department. In a way, it feels kind of like a Ghost or a God of War situation. Maybe you forgot about it, but God of War and even The Last of Us Part 2 as well. They, like, God of War Ragnarok, if you went into that game not knowing anything, only watching the trailers, you think, okay, I'm going to be with Atreus all the time. It's going to be the same old as 2018. And then out of nowhere, bam, you control Atreus. What the heck? We suddenly have other companions. They never said that. You get like Freya in hour 6 or hour 8. If you did not know that going in. So I really hope, my theory is that the first third of Ghost of Yotei, very familiar, but they make it more open. Okay, we have the story. It's going to be fun. Yeah, you kind of learn about Atsu, her past. Oh no, her family gets taken away. And you get angry at the Yotei 6 that killed your family. Then you enter the open world. Okay, now you got 2 targets. We probably killed a snake, like I think one of them during that big long tutorial. And then we go after the Kitsune, I think, and another one. And then, because there are 6 targets, I think after that third target, something happens. Something where it's like, what the heck? Okay, going after the Yotei 6. Our family probably wasn't as like peaceful and as nice as Atsu maybe thought, or maybe we have like a brother as well. Like, I think there's something that's gonna happen that twists her and makes her think like, okay, vengeance. I hope it's more than, okay, this vengeance is not bringing me anything. I hope it's more that, okay, maybe they were not the bad guys after all, or maybe they are still the bad guys, but there's way more going on, and then the other like half of the game, things are changing. I really hope that that's the case, and that there are more set piece moments then, and that they are really keeping those things close to the chest, because they are. Every trailer kind of shows the same things, and to be fair, I'm okay with that. I already knew from the moment they dropped the logo for like the first trailer, I'm in. So if they keep those things, just like with Ragnarok, just like with The Last of Us Part 2, remember with The Last of Us Part 2, we thought Joel and Ellie would still be going on an adventure. You saw only Ellie on the horse going to Seattle in the trailer. You saw Joel in parts that he, of course, never was. And yeah, then we learned that we thought, before the launch of Last of Us Part 2, we thought Dina would die and that Ellie would get crazy because of that. So I hope that there's more to the Ghost of Yotei stuff than we are feeling right now. Die Hard says 007 First Light? Question mark. Cool game. Said they didn't spend more time with X-Defiant. I enjoyed it. Yeah, X-Defiant, it was just not gonna work out because the competition in that genre is way bigger, and they had like a very expensive San Francisco team work on that, so I think that did not help either. How does Where Winds Meet Combat feel like more AC games or more Ghost of Tsushima vibes? Um, I think it's not really Ghost. It's more arcadey. But I have not really played the most recent test. I only played like one a year ago. But it's way more arcadey. You can do way more abilities. So I would not say it's more like an Odyssey, I think, overall. I'm very interested in the press button to go back to Atsu's past and how it will play out in gameplay. I think it will be smaller than we all are thinking. I think it will be we go to certain locations, there are story moments there, and then bam, we can switch. But yeah, it will be interesting if like someone is talking in the past and then you switch back to the modern day, you miss that dialogue. I'm not sure if that's the case. I think it will be more when you walk around, you will be able to switch, and then when you are listening to dialogue, interacting with enemies or with NPCs, you cannot switch. Hey, Pennywiz, good to see you. Allowing lo-fi beats to be played while you're playing the game is a turn-off. Yeah, that's why I listen to my podcast during my New Game Plus playthrough. I was expecting AC Black Flag remake announcement. Like, they still have the Shadows DLC. Now we learned about the Mirage DLC. They're gonna wait. I don't think you want to announce that and then launch it in early 2026. I think you need a shorter time. Announce it, maybe launch it a month later, max. Maybe shadow drop it like Oblivion, I don't know. Penny is saying, will you cover Lost Soul Aside? Good question. There are no codes for it, as far as I know. So we have not received a code yet. I hope there are reviews from other people. There are people already playing on the Reddit. I'm keeping an eye on that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it always looked awesome. But we will likely only do a stream for it on Friday or on Thursday, depending on when we get the game. And Kaushik, hi, and I already answered your question before you removed it. Zaan kan... Are you Dutch? Zaan Kantertje? Not sure what that means. But yeah, Lost Soul Side does look fun, for sure. Yeah, there will be a podcast with Luke this week. I've already reached out to him. It will be either today or on Wednesday, the usual thing, because we're finally back. I'm back from Germany, and yeah, it's been crazy summer. I'm excited for Splinter Cell for sure. Covered Cookie. Yeah, I think we will. Ubisoft next year is gonna be crazy. I think maybe Far Cry will be later than we are all expecting. I hope that's also revealed during the summer. But they have Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell Remake, Assassin's Creed Hexe, and Far Cry. That's crazy. That's a lot of big games. Give us some details on Crimson Desert. Steven is commanding things here. Okay, Steven. Okay, what should I do first? The Gamescom talk or the Mirage talk? I think I'm leaning more towards Gamescom myself, but let me know what you want. I'm Dutch. I'm from Zaandam. Okay. That makes sense. Well, I'm Dutch too. So I kind of figured that already. Yeah, the return of the Yor and Luke show. Yes! I'm excited for that too. Nate Fox and Jason Connell have kind of implied it. They said that you can only choose which character to do after for the first 2 targets. Later it's more linear, so I expect something big to happen. And yeah, I think so too. Remote Tanolo. For sure. Oh yeah, the Prince of Persia remake. Well, the Prince of Persia remake will be out before summer next year. So we will hear about that likely during Game Awards or maybe State of Play soon. Yeah. I'm not enjoying Age of Shadows. Waiting for Division 2 Survivors. Any news? Well, Alex, that got just announced at Gamescom. For people who don't know, they're doing an extraction survivor game, like game mode in the Division 2. It's kind of wild because they started that kind of right in Division 1. But they're now doing it for Division 2, but it seems like it will be late in 2026. So I'm not expecting that anytime soon. So yeah, I'm seeing more. Let's do Mirage. That will be a quicker topic, and then we can move on to Gamescom, where we'll have more to say. So for Gamescom, I want to do talk about the games that I saw, talk about the event in general, and then go from least excited to most excited. I think that will be fun. And yeah, for Assassin's Creed Mirage, we're obviously just gonna talk about the news that they dropped out of nowhere. Out of freaking nowhere. So what happened to Prince of Persia? Again, it's coming very soon, but it will likely be some time before we see it. Or like, again, there's seemingly a Tokyo Game Show, State of Play in September. Could be there, but it could also be during Game Awards. I think also for that game they're gonna be like, yo, and then boom, launch it like very soon. It was initially planned for a January date. They had Lost Crown for January as well, so they might aim for another January launch. One more question we do from Alex. Your Borderlands 4, Borderlands 4, which class character is more interesting to you? I'm going for the... so I played Borderlands 4 at Gamescom, and I went for the technical guy, the sort of... with like the VR glasses. He had like a turret that would shoot at random enemies, and that was pretty nice, because there were a lot of like flying enemies, so they would just instantly be taken out. But I have to do more research, to be honest with you. I've been kind of like, I looked at the open world stuff for Borderlands 4. That was the most exciting part for me, and that looks awesome. So I'm like, I don't need to see more. I'm all in. But we are going to do a class guide, so Dennis is working on that. So yeah, we will totally have information on the classes. So I will just watch that video and then know who I'm gonna pick. Okay, Mirage time. Let's do it. Alula. We got a very nice surprise. Assassin's Creed Mirage is namely getting a DLC. We go to the Assassin's Creed Twitter account for the first information, and then I want to kind of go over some other things we learned, because it's free. It's all for free, which is kind of wild. So, here, Assassin's Creed Mirage players, we have a surprise coming your way later this year. New story chapter and mission set in a 9th century Alula. And if you're like, what is that? Well, that's actually a place in the Arabian Peninsula. That's what it was called back then, but now it's called Saudi Arabia. And I think this is probably a great indication of what a city like that could look like. And it really reminds me of the sort of structures we saw in Origins as well. So, yeah, I'm curious. I hope they make it with more... Obviously, just like Baghdad, they made that a lot with parkour in mind. Then Shadows happened, and we kind of lost that. But obviously, yeah, that game focused on other things. But I do think it's going to be an interesting setting. And, yeah, it looks awesome, even though... things have kind of changed, but I do think it's going to be fun to explore this, of course, in the game. They also note gameplay improvements for the base game and the new location. So, yeah, this free update will basically make Mirage much better, and it's going to be free. So, we kind of see some interesting things in the artwork that they shared. So, this is basically all we have for the game right now. An interesting thing is that we see Enkidu, our bird, over here. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending of Mirage, but yeah, seeing the bird here means that this is probably gonna take place before the ending of Mirage. And also looking at the outfit that Basim is wearing here, this looks like the Initiate outfit. We can, by the way, jump into the game, because... oh, I'm dead. Yeah, we can check our outfit right here. I think this is the... because it looks blue, right? Like the blue scarf here. I'm gonna immediately getting attacked. Yeah, it looks like this outfit. Even though this also the... Oh, wait. Yeah, I think we're seeing this outfit. So yeah, that basically tells me that Basim is not a monster assassin yet. When the DLC starts. And yeah, we also see this mysterious figure. And we're all kind of speculating right now that that is his father. In Valhalla, Basim told Eivor about his father. And that he was an architect of the Great Mosque of Samara. But that someone else took credit for his creation. And then he was exiled. And kind of him walking like this. Maybe Alula is where he got exiled too. So it was always kind of interesting that they had all these theses in Valhalla about Basim's past, and then we played Basim before Valhalla, and we did not really go into that they are now finally doing that. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, it looks like a big new area. Also, yeah, kind of deserty, like the space outside of Baghdad, but it should include a new city as well, which I think is exciting. We also learned that kind of like fuels the fire more, that it's gonna take place after or like before the ending. We also got more news that is interesting. So for one, we learned that the voice actor for Basim in Mirage, who is a different person that voiced him in Valhalla, is returning for this free DLC. And even Nihal is returning. Because she shared this on her Instagram, so that's likely indicating, I will have more voice lines in this DLC, and that would also, of course, indicate that it takes place before the ending of Mirage. We also got this video. They deleted this video, by the way, but I downloaded it, of course. It was such a weird video to reveal this like DLC as well. So yeah, Basim is back. Oh my god! And then they just like they basically have a new outfit for Basim that they very like casually and not professionally at all zoom in on, and then they add the extra things that this content will include. But here we see it. We do have actually a better image of what this looks like, as you can see right here. So yeah, looks kind of cool. But yeah, this also likely indicates that it's content before the ending, as he's not a master assassin yet. But this looks like kind of a cool outfit. Like, I really think here, so yeah, Ubisoft Canada posted, but it's nowhere to be found. So I really think that this is gonna be, that this has the potential to be the biggest free content that we ever get for an Assassin's Creed game. The previous record holder, I would say, is either the Forgotten Saga for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was like the big roguelite mode. That was huge. But we also, of course, got the crossover stories for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey, where Cassandra went to Valhalla. And of course, in Odyssey, we basically got a 3-hour-long DLC, sort of an epilogue as well, which was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I don't know, like having a completely new region and a new city in a game like Mirage, I think we're maybe looking at like at least 3 hours, hopefully more content. So I think it's gonna be pretty extensive. And you might be wondering, why are they doing that right now? It's kind of weird, right? I think, like, again, the Odyssey content, that was the first time that they added new content to an older game. Because that released in 2021, and Odyssey came out in 2018. So now they're adding new content to a game that is 2 years old, while Shadows is getting content as well. But the reason why they're likely doing it is because of a rumor we had earlier this year. And that's that Ubisoft is making a surprising deal with Saudi Arabia. So what they say is, according to several sources, the French video game heavyweight has entered into a partnership with Saudi Arabia. This should lead to the production by Ubisoft Studios of downloadable content, also known as DLC, additional maps, levels. Again, they're a newspaper, they have to explain all this, that can be paid. Complementing the initial version of Assassin's Creed Mirage, the latest installment of Ubisoft's flagship title. This was January 2025. Basically, they note that a surprise decision given that Ubisoft had repeatedly stated that the game was self-contained and would not benefit from DLC, but things changed in December when Ubisoft's boss flew to Saudi Arabia. I mean, like Mirage was a Valhalla DLC. First, Eivor would go to Baghdad, but then they were like, we can do way more with this, and we can kind of go back to the roots. So let's do that. And then Mirage was born, and I still think that with the time and budget they were, like, they worked on that game for, they did the Rev of the Druids DLC that launched in 2021, and Mirage launched at the end of 2023 in October, like early October. So they had 2 years and a bit to work on Mirage. If they started on this Mirage content in December, and let's say it launches in November, that would be a year. So that would be half, basically, of the development time that they spent on Mirage. Obviously, it's likely a smaller team, but on the other hand, they're just adding to a game. DLC is always easier to make than a brand new game. So again, I think this could be pretty substantial, and we hear here also that discussions that ultimately led to agreement for a DLC for Assassin's Creed Mirage, the development of which would largely been financed by the Zavi Games Group, according to our information. So that is likely also why they're giving it away for free, because for Ubisoft, it's basically, they're probably not paying a lot for this. It's a way for them to beef up Mirage even more. Again, they're also adding gameplay improvements across the board. They are probably gonna do a new version of the game where they're like, yo, the director's cut or whatever they're gonna call it, and maybe put it out for Christmas. So they have like an Assassin's Creed game this Christmas, while likely the Black Flag remake, I would imagine, has been delayed to early 2026. But yeah, I think, like, we know about the Zavi Games Group. They have their hands in a lot of different things. I think they also put a lot of money into Nintendo, for example. We saw that with Tencent and the Chinese like game companies as well. They're investing in the Western gaming industry as well to get their hands in this. And I'm curious what their agreement was. If there are weird things in the DLC where it feels like, oh, they're really, I don't want to say propaganda, but they're basically like, okay, Alula is a very nice spot. You should go there on a holiday. Maybe I'm saying crazy things, but I'm curious what the sort of implications of them funding it would be, right? But on the other hand, like, it is cool to learn. I'm always for, and that's why I think it's awesome that we get all these Chinese games now that teaches about, like, Wukong, about the Chinese mythology that we normally don't really hear a lot about. I'm, like, open to this as well. Like, let me learn about, and all the Assassin's Creed games do that, of course, learn about this region that I'm not very familiar with. And if Saudi is like, yeah, we give you money so you can do your research, make cool content to, yeah, give this this region in Saudi Arabia a nice spotlight, I'm not against that. So I think it could be very cool. And for us, free content, I think if they made this like a $10 DLC, that would have been, I would have been like, okay, I get that. But yeah, them doing it for free, having a nice reason to return to Mirage, probably with new gear and stuff like that. Like, I think that Mirage and Shadows can really live alongside each other because they're quite different. So I think it's actually pretty exciting, but I'm curious to hear what you think, of course, for this as well. So yeah, subscribe and let me know in the comments. Goodbye. Bordeaux team is making the Shadows DLC. So Bordeaux is big. Like, let's not forget that Bordeaux is big. Hey, JJ, good to see you. Looks like the outfit inspired by AC Revelations. Yeah, awesome. A God of War remaster collection. What? It's releasing today. No. I mean, sometimes we get like big news during during the show, but that seems way too crazy. Hey, the Wow van der Kolf says, people got to play Reanimal and 007, but some games at Gamescom had embargoes. So you could see them, and then you would have to wait before you can share content. So the reason for that is that everything, like all the other games, are like, yo, where you can immediately talk about it, and then it gets drowned, right? So having your own moment a little later than Gamescom makes sure that you can get the spotlight that day. He's trolling. I was like, okay, I have to see this, but no, I don't believe that will be already looked into it. Okay, thanks, Brock. Love the new historious content. It's what made me fall in love with Assassin's Creed in the first place. I agree with that. What's going on with the Metal Gear Delta performance on Pro? Is it really that optimized? Yeah, that's what Digital Foundry has been saying. But yeah, I hope there's still like a patch coming. This looks cool. 11:10 editing. Hey, Markemon, good to see you. Yeah, that was weird, right? What gameplay improvements do you expect? Maybe like more. I don't know. I think Mirage was already pretty well contained in terms of like what it was trying to do. They could like look into AI improvements, I guess. Some people still had issues with the combat. I liked it quite a bit. But yeah, maybe give Basim a few more combat moves. Or like, I do think going from Shadows back to Mirage, I do think maybe adding some of those gameplay improvements that they added to the stealth there would be cool if you could, like, prone. But then and that you, in the new world, or maybe they fix that in the city, that you can, like, prone. That would be cool. Well, yeah. East Blue Drew, did you try Dawnwalker? Let's talk about my Gamescom experience, shall we? It's strange because Gap and Jacksepticeye already uploaded their Reanimal. What always happens with these types of things is that people don't listen. So there's like, yo, the embargo is blah, blah, blah. And they're like, at Gamescom, everything, you can post everything, and they just forget about it. And as to the PR, are you then going to say to Jacksepticeye, yo, dude, you broke the embargo when his video already got a ton of views? You're like, oh, damn it. A parkour down button. Again, yeah, they can do some stuff like that. I won't be playing the new Mirage content. I didn't like it. I barely even like Shadows right now. Ah, the kitty dead. That sucks to hear. Lightning stealth ads? What do you mean, Saber Knight? Yeah, IO and DHQ Nordics had booth, but almost no info. Yeah, just like just keep an eye on for the upcoming days. For more coverage. That's the nice part. We get a lot of game releases, but there are also like games that are still gonna showcase stuff. Hey, mods, my goatee. Goats. Thanks for joining. You think Lost Soul side is gonna be good? Actually, yes. But it's weird that they're so quiet about it. I do think it's not gonna like be... It might like 76 on Metacritic. I don't know. Shadows has too many bugs. I really ran into rarely any bugs in Shadows compared to the Fall launch and like some other games. I think Shadows was really well polished. I mean, I just played through it again. I did not run into any bugs. Okay. It's time for Gamescom. Gamescom. Let's see if we're well prepared for this. Papidee-dee-dee. Papadoo-doo-doo. Papadee-dee-dee. Padee-dee-da-ba-doo-doo. Gamescom, Gamescom, let me see. I can probably show this. Let me see if I can. Gamescom. I'm coming to Gamescom. Yes. That's awesome. Was the line for Silksong crazy? Yeah, but the worst part about Silksong was that there were only like 10 or like 4 pots to play it on. Highest master level in AC Odyssey? I broke that game, so I was like 99999. You agree Hellsauce should have gotten delayed? Couldn't stop, good to see you. Silks, like I met the people from Nakon, very lovely people, and they are super excited about Hellsauce. And I think if they have a great game on their hand, I really hope it delivers. But I told them, the release date sucks. It's like, really, there are way too many games. This game needs to be have their own spot. I think even like the end of September is better for them. Or like mid-October. But yeah, they were not really aware. And I said, and now Silksong is also launching on that day. Like this week we already have 4 big games. Gears of War, Lost Soul aside. The Shinobi game, the side-scrolling game, just got like 9s, a 9 on Metacritic. And we have Metal Gear Solid Delta. Destiny Rising on mobile is coming out. Wukong launched last week. We got Helldivers 2 on Xbox this week. Crazy. Then next week, there you have like even more. You have okay, let's grab the calendar. Games Radar 2025 games. I think the Games Radar one is pretty good. Let's see. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, here we're in the... So here, we already had this crazy... And then next week, Hell Is Us, Indiana Jones launched the DLC. You got Hollow Knight Silksong as well. Chronos The New Dawn, which looks kind of cool too. Then the week after that, you have Borderlands. Dying Light the Beast the week after that. They don't even have the Shadows DLC. Silent Hill F coming out as well. FIFA coming out. Final Fantasy Tactics coming out. There are so many games. The Sonic Racing game that I know some people are interested in. Then the week after that, you have Yote, Battlefield 6, of course. Like, same days, like. But it's especially for a game like this. I really think they could have picked a better date. But on the other hand, you sometimes cannot win. But having that Silksong, that's the sad part about this. The Silksong date, it just like that. 2 weeks before, like they're printing physical copies and all that sort of stuff, and then 2 weeks before that, you have Silksong saying, "Yo, we're coming out on the same day." Gears Reloaded, yeah, crazy. Yeah, Kaushik, and they fixed that bug. Hex, it's the back to school thing, yeah. Hey, good to see you, Skate. Or how do I pronounce it? Skata. Are you with the force here on? Are you always with the force? I just usually look at your picture. I don't think you're Skata. You are. Yeah, it is Skata. Okay. You're on Twitch. You're throwing me off. You're throwing me off. Hey, Kill My Skill. Good to see you. What was your favorite game experience at Gamescom? On my way home from Gamescom right now. Well, Kill My Skill. Glad to hear that. I hope you have a good, safe travels. Let's talk about Gamescom, actually. I want to do a few more questions, and then we are looking at my Gamescom experience. I'm glad the development for Silksong was not troubling. Yeah, I heard some stories about it too. It does seem like they could have used some project management, because they did not know about certain scheduling programs and stuff that other producers were like, what? Are you not using that? So it's kind of crazy. Hornet Night Hype. You have a cool room. Thanks, Idoko. Appreciate that. But it's like outdated. I have so much new stuff. Like you see, okay, the Mirage statue is I think the latest. Okay, I have the Shadow statue there too. Feels like I have to upgrade it as well. It's I've not touched it for a long time. Was it the same setup, like the location, or did they step it up? Gamescom, you mean? It's always the same setup, but there were 40 more exhibitors. Any idea when the Resident Evil 9 demo will be playable? Probably a month before launch or something, right? Did you talk about Resident Evil 9 yet? I did not see that game, sadly. There was like a 10-minute demo, but I sadly have not played it. No, I'm gonna talk about the games that I did play, though. I just came back from Gamescom 2025 and I saw many games. I played some as well. So in this video I want to go over my least exciting games and then go to the most exciting games that I checked out. First of all, good to note is that I also, 007 was there too. But yeah, as you maybe saw, there are no previews for that yet. So yeah, some games cannot be included, but for reasons, so you know. Okay, let's start with the first game from least exciting to most excited. And the first game I want to talk about, because basically Gamescom, you have multiple days, and the first day is for the press, but there are also still tiers. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday are crazy. It gets more crowded as the week goes on. On Wednesday, it's not that crowded. And every Wednesday, the Xbox booth opens up for people with an invitation. So I got invited by Xbox to go to their booth and check out some of the stuff they had there without crazy lines. And the first thing I checked out is the game where I'm like, I don't know about this one. And that is The Outer Worlds 2. So I did not play the game. I only saw the gameplay demo that they put on YouTube as well. And for me, my biggest takeaway from this was, there's nothing where I'm like, wow, okay, cool that they're doing this. I've not seen this before. Oh, that looks exciting. It looks like a fun game. I totally think if you like the Obsidian RPGs, you're gonna like this. The combat, the shooting, totally looks improved, but I don't think this game will excel in anything. There was nothing where I was like, oh wow, I did not see that coming. So you have your companions, they really seem to be kind of lifeless, they follow you around, and they did not say anything exciting. The world looks kind of cool, so we went in this instanced area basically, and the biggest thing they were kind of talking about were the skill checks. They were like, yeah, there are skill checks. And yeah, if you have your points in that, here. If you have your points in hacking, then you can do it immediately. Or if you don't have your points in hacking, but you have a little bit, then you have to find a manual that you can find. And I don't know. I was really lacking the excitement. I don't think the demo they showed here was very, very interesting. Um, to be honest, maybe it's also like I do think it could be a game for me, but I'm also less into the sort of more sci-fi setting. Um, so yeah, I was not impressed by this at all. It really feels like that, yeah, more double A type game, and that is fine. But we have to remember that they wanted to sell this for $80. They've changed that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun Game Pass game, I think, but it did not grab me. So wish it was different. But I think the showing here, yeah, was not that great. I also at the Xbox booth played Borderlands 4, and this one has been on my list for a very long time. Obviously, loved Borderlands 3. I actually liked Wonderlands a lot too. And yeah, it makes sense that Borderlands 4 having way more improvements in terms of like movement. Yeah, that was like that's should be higher on your list. I've been kind of like going blind in a way because like I know about the changes, but I've not like looked at all the coverage that people put out because I already know I will be playing it. The demo that I got to play it though, like why it's like not as high on the list, is because the demo we got to play is this. It's like a vault. So basically in the open world, or they have like it's not like a real open world. They have like 4 open zones, and in the zones you find keys, and if you combine them, you can enter a vault. And a vault is basically, it looks kind of cool, but it's basically go to this arena, kill all enemies. You see the thing they want you to focus on, kill all enemies, and then a jump pad opens up. You can jump to another arena and kill all the other enemies again. Of course, the fun part about a game like this is having your own loadout, knowing synergies with your skills. So being thrown into a level 20 character with weapons that you did not earn yourself, it was not the best experience. But what I really liked, and that really shows the potential, I think, of this game, is the boss fight. They really added a lot of interesting things with your new movement mechanics. So you basically have this grapple hook now. You can aim at an enemy, and then they will reveal the weak point. So instead of using it, because later on in the level, the boss will also climb against the ceiling here, and so now you reveal the weak points, but you still have to dodge out of the way. At one point in the second phase, there will be you will have to use your grapple hook also to basically still damage the boss while not hitting the ground, because the ground will damage you. So yeah, you're basically, usually in Borderlands, you're really focused on, okay, I just need to do as much damage as possible, but I thought the mechanics were kind of cool. So I thought this was pretty awesome, but I don't think Borderlands is a great game where I can just walk into a pot and basically get a good sense for what the final product will be. But I think, again, the movement stuff was great. I also, because they had all the cosmetic options available, and I made a photo, but they were like, please delete that. So I tried to get all the cosmetic unlocks, but I could not show it to you. So that's kind of sad. I also played Dying Light the Beast. Of course, another game that is now delayed to September, coming out a bit later than Borderlands on September 19th. I think it's gonna be... I wish it came out like last week, the Gamescom week. That was the original plan. But what I played, I mean, I think what basically, and you see that immediately here, it is a DLC turned into a full game, but I think them having the more overgrown environments, the less like really focused on the urban environment, really helps set this apart. But it is basically Dying Light 2. I really was like, okay, it took me some time to get used to the controls again, but yeah, you clearly see that they just made a fun new version of all the bells and whistles they already had, but now they have some extra weapons. I was also able to try the flamethrower. It was really a short demo that I played, but the flamethrower is a cool new addition. So got to toy around with that. It was kind of fun to use, but overall, I didn't get a good sense for what the new package will bring. But yeah, it really felt like, okay, it's Dying Light 2 with all the updates, with all the improvements they made in a pretty cool new environment. But I hope they hit the bell, or like hit the nail on the head in terms of story. Of course, Kyle Crane, the main character from the first game, is back, which is exciting. Did not get a great sense for it, but what I played was like, yeah, it's more Dying Light. It's if you're in the mood for that, it's awesome. I am in the mood for that too, although the release is not ideal, the release date. I also got to play 2 hours almost of Crimson Desert. I got to play this demo that you see right here. And it finally, because the first gameplay demo that I got to play is also, I think, the one that people on the show floor got to play. If you're like there without a press badge or whatever, then you got to play all the boss fights that they had. But basically, this is a regular main story mission. So first you have the preparation for a big siege battle, and you really get more of a sense of the world and how big it all is. I could like summon my mount as well. I'm not sure why this guy is not doing that. But my big and then we eventually go and fight. And I think the scope of this game, the graphics, everything that is going on, it's very, very exciting. I think this is gonna be a very special game. But my takeaway mostly from the Gamescom demo was I was very excited for it, but I got a bit more. I was like really high on it in terms of like, oh my god, I can't believe this is real. And now I'm more okay, I really see the potential here, but there could be some things that are holding this game back. And it is kind of hard to talk about it. I want to make a full main video on it as well. But there are two sides to it. One is you're being thrown into this brand new game. It looks like an action RPG in an open world, but it actually plays completely different. There are a lot of new mechanics. There are so many enemies on the screen. It's way more action hack and slashy focused than maybe some other more strategic type games. There are so many abilities. So when you pick up the controller for the first time, even if I already played the old demo, it was still like, okay, what is going on? There are so many things to focus on. So I think on one hand, it's that you are not really eased into this experience. If you play this like part, probably when the whole when you start the game from the beginning, you will likely have a way better understanding of what you should do and all that sort of stuff. So I hope that a lot of it is different when you finally get to play from the beginning and unlock all these things at a regular pace. But I still think there are a lot of things they can do to make the experience way, way better and less frustrating. There are a lot of UI elements I think missing, and it's very overwhelming. So I do think they can still make a lot of improvements. And I saw like people on Reddit also say, why are people not blocking and parrying all the time? Because you really don't. There are so many like particle effects and things going on that you're constantly overwhelmed, and it's not very clear how you should parry, how you should dodge, and block these attacks. And very often the best approach is going hard and just going for the attack is the best defense approach. Another thing is, and you see that in the demo here too, they give you 99 potions. So you're also we cannot really experience the game as it's meant to be because we basically cannot die. They made the demo so that you can always survive. So I think they do that because otherwise, it will be an even more frustrating experience if you constantly die, thinking, oh, okay, I could not have done anything about this. But it does give a sort of like not a realistic, I think, approach, or like not a realistic sense of what the game will be when we get to play it. So I want to do a more in-depth video on it, but for now, what like the production value, these cutscenes, the gameplay, there are so many cool moves you can do. The world looks beautiful. I really think that if they nail and make more quality of life improvements before release, this could be a really, really special game. But they're not there yet, and it became a bit more clear during this Gamescom demo. They, of course, delayed it till early 2026, so let's hope, they still add some improvements. But again, I want to do a main video on that too, so check that out. Another game I got to play, and it's actually this demo as well. Dennis, of course, went to China, so his impressions are up on the main channel. I got to play the same demo that he got to play. I played it on the normal difficulty. There are actually difficulties in this game: easy, normal, and hard. He got to play it on normal and on hard. But yeah, this game, it's it's a blast to look at, and it is a blast to play. You really feel like a badass, and it's also not as how do you say that? They also are not punishing at all. This is really a game where they want you to feel like a badass. It can be challenging if you don't really know what you're doing, but then you just spawn at the nearest checkpoint, can try again. There are no, if you die, it doesn't matter. You don't lose your progress or anything. There are not even XP points or whatever that you're earning by defeating enemies. So it's a really, really a way more chillax game, and you feel like a badass. All the weapons they have, from the looks of it, there are 3 different types of weapons. You have your dual blades, you have your regular katana, you have a big weapon. And on the surface, they look kind of similar, but when you switch around, you're like, whoa, okay, this one, the attack speed is a little different, the range is different, they have different abilities. You also have these tools that you can use. And I was playing this level, and at one point, you reach this boss. Let's see. And yeah, I also figured out, okay, this weapon is maybe the best because it actually stuns the boss a bit. So it's really cool that you have this huge arsenal of weapons. You're not restricted in how many you can carry. You can only equip 2 at the same time, though, but you can at any point switch it out. They're really quality of life at the forefront. They're just have a fun time with this very cool looking game. And yeah, again, I still died a couple of times against this boss, but then I switched my loadout and finally figured out, okay, this is the way I should go about it. Again, all these moves that you do, you want to time them at the right time. Okay, now the boss is on the ground. Okay, now I'm gonna do this ability that needs to charge up. Oh, this boss even doing abilities that I've not seen him do in my session. So again, loving the game. My only kind of gripe against it, or thing where I was okay, I did not notice, and I'm not a huge fan of that, is the level layout. So it's very linear. We know from the China session that that this seems to be an optional level that they're showcasing here, but sometimes you have 2 side paths, and then you're okay, I'm gonna follow this, and then it's very quickly you hit a wall, and you're okay, that's it, and then you go back to the main path. So I wish there was more exploration, kind of like Wukong, but that was not the case in this session. But they make sure to keep it interesting. I think there's at one point here a boss as well, or an enemy as well, that does a sort of let's see. So you get this boss. Okay, then you go to the final boss. They skipped quite a lot. It's a longer demo. It took me 1 hour to finish through it. This is one of those enemies, and this enemy. So you encounter this enemy for the first time, I think, around here, and they revive the other enemies again. So the first time you're fighting him, you're why are all the enemies getting revived all the time? And then you figure out, okay, it's this annoying guy, so you want to focus on him first. Again, cool things like that. It plays like a dream. It's gonna be a special game. I wish the level design was more, unique and more interesting. Maybe other levels will be like that, but it's very, very linear and kind of small feeling, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think apart from that, everything I've played and seen, I can't wait for this. They should announce the release date at the end of the year. Then, number 2 on my list, and I was kind of surprised that it was actually my number 2, but The Blood of Dawnwalker. This is the new game from ex-Witcher developers Rebel Wolf. And I think the first gameplay they shared, which was also this, the same demo, it kind of felt like, okay, boots on the ground, it's not gonna be a Witcher type, like AAA experience. But this demo they showed at Gamescom already highlighted so many improvements they made. And that was very, very cool to see. And also, like, what I said was missing for the Outer Worlds, for example, was an oh, cool, you guys are trying that. The way this game works is, I think, fascinating, and it works really well. I think the combat they showed also, quite some improvements. It is an open world. The sort of like people on the street. It's nothing like crazy, but it still looks kind of cool. I think the world they created is awesome. But yeah, the basic thing, if you like follow the game, you kind of know. But what they basically did during Gamescom is they showed one mission and how you can do it in 2 ways. So during night, you have these vampire abilities. So you can way more easily traverse the world. You use your claws in combat. I'm sure they're gonna like show that at one point here as well. Yeah, so your combat is basically completely different. And it also means that because you can walk on walls and enter buildings in different ways, that you can completely skip quest steps that that will be different for you during day. So we saw the same quest play out in in daylight and in nighttime, and they still led to the same spot at the end, but how to get there is completely different. So I think the replay value is going to be very cool, and I also think this game really, because what they have, so you have a timer, and I hope that Far Cry does it like this too. So we of course have rumors Far Cry 7 is gonna have a timer for the family that you have to rescue, and Dawnwalker is doing something similar. So they have 22 days left, and basically a full bar. It's kind of small, but on the top right you basically see a full bar, and by just playing the game, by just exploring the world, the time will not move forward. But if you go do a quest, you will see a number, and that is basically a bar. So say, okay, this quest step adds 1 bar to the full bar. So a day has 8 bars, so maybe you can do a couple of quests because they all move the day forward. But that also means that if you like to play as the vampire, you can just like farm, maybe level up and do stuff like that. As long as you don't move the time forward, you're fine. So I think it's gonna be very cool in this game to be like, okay, I like because you also have the daytime, the regular, and this is the more Witcher-like combat. So you have your blade, and you can also do magical abilities. If you like that type of content, you're gonna want to do the missions more during day, or do certain content more during day. So I think you already create 2 very different playstyles. It also looks just way better than the combat they showed in the previous session. One big change they made is that first, and that was like one of the big critiques I had. So you have this weapon wheel, or this like ability wheel, but first the game would freeze when the ability wheel was on screen. But now the game is like still happening in the background. So it's more a quick interruption, while the enemies can still attack you, they're just slowed down. So it just feels a bit more natural. They also added a sort of like quick wheel to all those sort of things. Again, I think if they deliver, and the only thing that I'm not like a huge fan of are the sort of dialogue and how that kind of looks. It looks kind of like old school, and yeah, the characters are not like, they don't have a lot of emotion, but it makes sense for a studio that is like way smaller than a CD Projekt Red. But if I I did feel for I did like I was engaged with what they showed, and yeah, I thought the story was pretty interesting. You were looking for a cool new weapon. You were fighting a boss at the end. Again, are you doing that during daytime, nighttime? You have different powers. Again, it's just a game that we kind of know, but they have a very interesting twist, and I think it could be very, very cool. I liked what they showed here, and yeah, I'm totally keeping an eye on Blood of the Dawnwalker. But a game that I did not expect to like as much as I liked it. This is my favorite game that I played. So this was also at that Xbox booth. Onimusha, The Way of the Sword. So we did a video. Yeah, Dennis played it a lot. I looked at it as well. Of Onimusha 2, of course, the PS2 game that has like a remaster. And while this is like a completely like separate from that, I think they really did a great job at translating that more old school type gameplay to a more modern thing without going full Souls-like or doing something like... It kind of looks maybe like a game you have played, but I think the sort of small twists they are adding and just the way that it feels, I really hope they do a demo for this. It was so much fun to play, and you really easily felt... I mean, as you can see, that it's kind of slow as well. You're really focused on, okay, the enemies have this health bar. If I do this light attack, or like for this ranged enemy, I, for example, need 2 light attacks. So let's get them in quick, then do the finisher. Okay, this is the enemy. You're constantly like reading the enemies, thinking about what your moves do. And yeah, here you can see, okay, it's just so satisfying. There's like quick time to kill. Okay, 2 heavy attacks, I know, and then boom. Like, of course, this is not my gameplay, but I picked this game up. I played it for, I think, 15 minutes. And I already had a really cool, like, a really sense of control. It's like kind of hard to explain, but I had a really, really great time with this game. I think if you kind of master it, you will be... Oh, wow, I did not even know you could do this. That's awesome. You can have a much harder or much easier time than people who are just button bashing and, yeah, just trying different things. Like, and then there's like a boss fight near the end as well that really, really was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if they're showing it here. Oh, they show like different types of gameplay. I did not play that. It was just very satisfying, and so, like, also having to get the souls all the time, it's just satisfying. So you kill an enemy and then you hold your hand, and that's how you basically get your reward. So it kind of looks like a Souls-like, but it does not play like it. But it also kind of gave me that Sekiro itch that I was like missing in the newer From Software games. So I don't know, I was really, really enjoying this game. This was, yeah, my favorite game, and I did not expect that going into it because I wasn't even planning on playing it. But no, I was having a really, really good time with this. So again, I hope they do yeah, I hope they do a demo for it. I think that would really benefit the game coming out 2026. But yeah, again, there were already, also like playing it, there were already things about what is going on here. I was intrigued by it. The gameplay, yeah, it was really, really good. So yeah, Onimusha, Wave the Sword, my favorite game that I played at Gamescom. Although, of course, I cannot talk about everything yet. Let me know what your favorite game was. If you have questions, drop it in the comments. And I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Of course, I will stay with the stream, but that was a long one. LOL Soulside coming later this week. Yeah. Didn't say the level design is Souls-like. I get the WoW for Phantom Blade. I get that. But for me, it felt like Souls-like from 10 years ago. Not the newer Souls-likes. Kill my skill. How was the Resident Evil 9? Was it worth it? Did you get to do meet all, or is there some you missed? I actually, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Outer Worlds covered cookie. No, did not like what they showed. Hopefully the main game is better, but yeah, what they showed wasn't great. Did you get to meet? Yeah, I saw everything I wanted to see actually. Maybe I learned about some games that were like kind of hidden that they did show. That yeah, I don't know. Yeah, McMotorhead, it is a lot of fun. Let's see, are there more things I missed? Hey, Severus, good to see you. Logo, I did not see the side of the map. I think you mean for Crimson Desert, right? I'm glad you were liking Mods My Gods Outer Worlds. R6 Rider, no. Assassin's Creed Jade wasn't there, no. Yeah, 53 Nights. That was kind of like they were really saying with the Outer Worlds that the skill checks were like, whoa, the big thing or something. Yeah. He's back home from his vacation in the red light district. I mean, I live near the red light districts. Why would I go on a vacation there? Hey, Slawomir, good to see you. Do you think Black Myth John Kui is a 2027 or 2028 game? I'm leaning towards 2028 at the earliest. More beans? No info on Far Cry 7. When we have info, I will let you know. But Ubisoft is gonna announce games and release info about them closer to launch than what they've done before, I think. Did you skip Lego Batman? Yeah, I sadly did not have an appointment and the line was crazy. Do you think Jade or Hexay release next year? I think Hexay release at the end of 2026. I would be shocked if they skip that. Is Gamescom open to anyone that can get there and buy a ticket? Yeah. Yeah, Saber Knight. But again, like I was able to play a lot of games because I got appointments, so I never stood in line. But if you go there without appointments, it's gonna be not a lot of fun. Did you test Morbid Metal? Is that the Ubisoft game? I actually played that at Steam. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's the Ubisoft game. No, I did not play that, but I played it at like Steam Demo Fest. I think I had. Yeah. No, I heard people say that wasn't that exciting. But yeah. But yeah, Saber Knight, you will love Onimusha then, if you love the previous ones. Feels like a really nice modern, yeah, version of it. I was really impressed by it. Ivan is asking, what do you think? Which game will be the blockbuster release in 2026 for Sony? Wolverine, Intergalactic, or Chorus game? I have a feeling it's Intergalactic. I hope. I hope it's Intergalactic. Fall 2026. But to be fair, they can still launch it in early 2027. Intergalactic. That would still work out as well. Marathon, yeah, no, that's not a single player game they're usually pushing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's Intergalactic. Wolverine, of course, you would think that has been in development for. It has not actually been in development for a longer time, and yeah, with them switching creative directors, that's not a good thing. No, Hexay, no way before 2028. Oh, Hexay is gonna be next year. I will be going now. Hope you had a great time during the stream. Next week I will, of course, be back. And yeah, we will have more videos, of course, coming your way. So I hope you enjoyed that. Looks interesting, but who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure, Skata. It's not on my list, at least. There are too many games. But yeah, we'll be back. We got some great content coming your way. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, Brock, as always, for moderating.